KMT pushes for 10,000 new Taiwan dollars cash handout amid record tax surplus. Tainan launches travel incentives to boost tourism. DPP legislators corruption case, suspects detained. Millions in the dark in Chile after blackout. South Korea highway construction project collapse. Starbucks axes 1,100 jobs in bid for U.S. turnaround. Iraq conducts first national census in 40 years. Microsoft reveals first quantum computing chip.
Hello everyone, I'm Oceana. Thank you for joining us on Funday News. It is Thursday, February 27th, International Polar Bear Day, and here are your top stories. And for today's Taiwan news, Taiwan's tax revenue hit 3.76 trillion NTD in 2024 with a record of 528.3 NTD billion surplus. The KMT is pushing a 10,000 NTD cash handout, surpassing the 6,000 NTD issued in 2023. A new poll shows 66.3% support, raising to 91% among those aged 30 to 39. To boost tourism, Tainan offers 3 travel incentive programs, including subsidies of up to 800 NTD for staying at least one night. Travel agencies nationwide are invited to join, with applications open from March 3rd. Several suspects in DPP legislator Lin Taihua's corruption case were detained after prosecutors' appeal. Monk Shi Huangzhi was questioned again and sent to Kaohsiung prosecutors, who requested his detention early this morning. The court will decide later today. And in global news, a sweeping blackout hit Chile on Tuesday, stranding commuters, knocking out traffic lights, paralyzing countless businesses, and leaving millions of people across the South American nation without power. The National Electrical Coordinator, Chile's grid operator, said a disruption had occurred in a high-voltage transmission line that carries power from the Atacama Desert in northern Chile to the capital Santiago in the country's Central Valley.
It did not say what actually caused the disruption that pushed much of the country's power grid into shutdown, from the northernmost Chilean port of Arica to the southern Los Lagos agricultural region. Chile's National Disaster Response Service, CENIPRED, reported that a disruption in the supply of electricity had provoked a massive power outage across 14 of the country's 16 regions, including Santiago, where authorities said there would be no subway service until further notice. In a news conference, Toha urged the public to stay calm and said officials were racing to restore the grid and reinstate electric service across the country of some 19 million people.
At least 4 people died and 6 were injured on Tuesday after a collapse at a highway construction site in an area south of Seoul. The Yonhap news agency reported that the accident took place at 9:49 a.m. in Ansong, about 43.5 miles from Seoul, when 5 164-foot concrete structures supporting the highway bridge collapsed one after another after being hoisted into place by a crane. Broadcaster YTN aired dramatic footage showing a section of the towering bridge collapsing at the site.
Rescue workers at the site were seen examining twisted metal struts and fractured concrete slabs below the columns of the highway bridge. Acting President Choi Sang-mok called for the mobilization of all available personnel and resources to rescue any missing people and to ensure safety measures to prevent further damage. The National Fire Agency said it had deployed 3 helicopters and nearly 150 officials for the search and rescue operation, while the Transport Ministry said it had dispatched a team of officials to the scene. Deadly accidents continue to occur regularly at industrial sites in South Korea, which introduced a law in 2022 to address safety lapses and hold company management accountable if a worker is killed on the job.
Starbucks is cutting 1,100 jobs and simplifying its menu in the U.S. as it tries to improve its struggling business in its home market. The first items to be removed include the Royal English Breakfast Latte, white hot chocolate, and several kinds of blended frappuccinos. However, Starbucks said more offerings would be cut as it aims to shrink its menu by nearly a third over the next year, hoping to reduce wait times and improve quality and consistency. The company has been grappling with a sustained decline in sales since last year, which has been particularly pronounced in the U.S.
Chief Executive Brian Niccol, who previously led the Mexican food chain Chipotle, was brought into Starbucks last year to help turn the business around. He has stated that he wants to see the company return to its roots as a coffeehouse. Starbucks said the drinks said to be removed weren't commonly purchased, can be complex to make, or are similar to other beverages on our menu. The changes are set to take effect on March 4th. Starbucks employs more than 360,000 people and operates or licenses more than 40,000 stores worldwide. The brand has struggled in U.S. in recent years as customers have complained about long wait times and high prices, while the company has grappled with baristas attempting to unionize.
The final results of Iraq's first census in nearly 40 years, released Monday, shows the population has reached 46.1 million. In 2009, an unofficial count estimated the population at 31.6 million. Iraqi officials have called the population count a milestone and said it will provide essential data for future planning and resource distribution. Speaking at a news conference to announce the results, Iraq's planning minister said the census demonstrates the government's determination to improve conditions in the country.
The Iraqi government is trying to consolidate security improvements after decades of war and instability and to develop the economy at a time of regional upheaval. The census provides detailed insights into economic, educational, and housing conditions, with separate breakdowns for Iraq as a whole and the semi-autonomous Kurdish. In federal Iraq, approximately 70.2% of the population lives in urban areas, while urban areas in the Kurdish region comprise 84.6% of the Kurdish population. The Kurdish region also saw higher rates of employment, with 46% of the population economically active compared to 41.6% in federal areas, and their children's primary school enrollment was 93% versus 88%.
Microsoft announced Majorana 1, its first quantum computing chip. The achievement comes after the company has spent nearly 2 decades researching in the field. Technologists believe quantum computers could one day efficiently solve problems that would be taxing, if not impossible, for classical computers. Today's computers use bits that can be either on or off, while quantum computers employ quantum bits, or qubits, that can operate in both states simultaneously.
Google and IBM have also developed quantum processors, as have smaller companies IonQ and Rigetti Computing. Microsoft's quantum chip employs 8 topological qubits using indium arsenide, a semiconductor, and aluminum, a superconductor. Microsoft won't be allowing clients to use its Majorana 1 chip through the company's Azure public cloud, as it plans to do with its custom AI chip, Maya 100. Instead, Majorana 1 is a step toward a goal of 1 million qubits on a chip, following extensive physics research. In the meantime, the company will engage with national laboratories and universities on research using Majorana 1.
The answer for yesterday was B, ordeal. The hikers went through a real ordeal when they got lost in the storm. Did you answer correctly? Now let's delve into today's news. Starbucks axes 1,100 jobs in bid for U.S. turnaround. Number 1, consistency. 一致性, 稳定性. The coach emphasized the importance of consistency in training. Number 2, sustain. 维持, 支撑. The company struggled to sustain its profits during the recession. Number 3, pronounced. 明显的, 显著的. The difference between these 2 styles is quite pronounced. Next, we have a multiple choice question for everyone to practice. You can write your answer in the comments section, and the correct answer will be announced tomorrow. Polar bears are furry and majestic beasts that roam across the cold Arctic ice. However, in the past few decades, sea ice in the Arctic has been melting at alarmingly fast rates, leading the polar ice cap to shrink over time. International Polar Bear Day aims to raise awareness of the issues threatening these creatures and encourage change. And that's all for today's Funday News. Be sure to tune into Funday News from Monday to Friday and click the link below to join Funday for free. I'm your host, Oceana. I'll see you next time.